Aries, October 2024 could offer up some significant changes regarding your home and your significant long-term love or business partnerships, or how you connect to that audience and marketplace. We're going to dive into your month of October. And before we do, and don't forget the eclipse in Libra. Whew. Before we get going, let's say a few things about me in case you're new here. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac and the whole sign house system. Fixed stars and minor asteroids are my specialty. I make up to 30 videos per month, including weeklies. And so come on, check it out, hit the like button and subscribe. And welcome back for my regulars. Look, the other thing is that quickly I'm noting that if you want to get my sky read, if you want to get my 2025 predictions for your sign, and you can buy a bundle as well of all signs. So you can listen for sun, career and purpose, moon, home and safety, and ascendant, everything about you. If you want to get that content, it is on my pre-sale offer as of the day this video goes out, September 22nd. The pre-sale price ends October 31st. It's the lowest you'll ever get for buying the product before I create it. I will be making that product throughout the whole month of October and will deliver it to your email box privately mid-November. That content is never public. It's my yearly fundraiser. I create that to buy things like microphones, new laptops, ring lights, recording equipment, hire my video editor and other people who help me on my back end, including my sister who timestamps for me. So this is my business fundraiser. And if you want to participate by buying the product, then I'm not just asking for your money, then go ahead and grab it. It's one of my favorite things to do every year for this, you guys and this channel. Now, let's talk about you. You know, Aries, I know you laugh at this every time I say it. You're the sign least likely to listen to these videos, I swear. Number one, it's eclipse season, and the October 2nd eclipse is critical. You had one here on the 14th of the month last year. Of October, and here we have it October 2nd, a month before October 2nd. It's up to 6 months after. It's really all about that time frame where it's really happening. It wants to bring change in your business partnerships and your significant long-term love story. Look, it's your spousal energetic, and South Node is where you have to surrender, let go, and release something, or your partner is in the middle of surrendering, letting go, and releasing something. And so ask yourself, did it impact you in any particular way last year? That would have impacted more the Aries, sun, moon, and rising, 15 to 25 degrees of Aries. This one is all of you, Aries, sun, moon, and rising in the first 15 degrees, let's say, of the sign of Aries, at least closer to the 5th degree. I mean, the 10th degree. So 5 to 15 degrees. But nonetheless, you're all still feeling like something's got to give, something's got to change with that business partnership, that love relationship, that significant one, the monogamous one. Hey, South Node is asking something to be released. Now, don't forget, it is the house of the other, and they may be the ones doing the releasing and releasing you or releasing things in their own life. So don't take it so personally. However, we do have Juno there, and Juno is the goddess of marriage. And now the South Node is with the goddess of marriage, and it's releasing through a solar eclipse embedded in a conjunction to Mercury. Now, I'll break it down a bit more in another longer video on my channel, but just know there's something beginning October 2nd with a portal of an eclipse, a solar eclipse, saying what do you need to let go of and how you relate to your audience, your clients, your marketplace. I'm an Aries sun, career. I'm letting go of one-on-one readings. It's that simple. I already know what the eclipse is doing. I actually announced it just before this eclipse. As I'm recording today on September 20th, I told my Patreon community and everybody else, I'm no longer doing readings this fall, maybe again next year, maybe not. So ask yourself, you know, what you need to let go of regarding client, audience, marketplace relationships, and significant others and business partners. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that Mars is the Lord of your sign. And just like he spent most of September in the sign of Cancer, he's doing the same thing in October. He'll be here till November the 4th. And then, by the way, back January 6th to April, in your 4th house of April, January 6th to April of next year. It's not very likely you're going to stay put, like not with Mars in your 4th house, or you're going to have domestic conflict, you know, arguments and strife in the home. But if you're not having strife and battle in the home, then you're going to be wandering away from home, traveling far away from home, moving your home, changing your home, maybe cutting your home, severing your home. That can look like selling a home, maybe highly motivated to do construction or repairs in the home. But your home's not going to be the same old home through this transit. Let's put it that way. No siree, no siree. So Mars is there all through the whole of the month, and he squares the Aries ascendant and sun and moon. He squares you, and he stresses out your long-term relationships in a general T-square. So your critical connections to others and your own self and what happens in and from your home, right? You can be working hard in and from your home. I can relate, but there's other things that can be about separating and ending situations connected to your home. So keep that in mind. We're also going to talk about Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Pluto before I break down the month in individual increments. Okay. So Mercury is moving through the sign of Libra, which is your 7th house of significant committed love stories, through to October 12th. Started there September 26th, ends there October the 12th. This is the part of your chart where you are looking at what it is you need to get communicated to your audience, your marketplace, your clients, and your significant other or your business partner, and what communication must take place for balance and harmony in your life. Because you have to focus more on you. The North Node is expanding you, and you got the chironic wound in the house of you. You don't have all your attention over there. That's not where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to bring your attention back to yourself. And then Mercury moves into Scorpio. That's your 8th house on October 13th to November 1st. Now, Mercury here can be really good for commerce. He could be really good for chunky money. He could be good for debt renegotiations, tax rebates, investment structures. Mercury here is fine for you doing really well in business or in matters of mortgages, refinances, lenders, credit card debts, buying or selling real estate. With Mars in your 4th house and Mercury in your 8th, buying or selling a property isn't outside the bounds of what the sky can offer you during Mercury's transit October 13th to November the 1st. Venus will move into Scorpio, the same place. Credit cards, banks, mortgages, buying and selling properties from the 4th house, inheritances, and legacy wealth. When Venus gets here September 22nd to October 16th, look especially to October 13th to the 16th, because both Mercury and Venus in the 8th house could bring a golden financial opportunity connected to inheritances, property sale, buying money, buying property, money coming almost like a karmic debt, being paid off. So there's money stories that may emerge in a positive way for all Aries, sun, moon, and rising, mostly rising, by the way, but if it's sun, it's through career as well. And that would be, again, September 22nd to October 16th. On the 17th, Venus is moving into Sagittarius. And through to October 17th to November the 10th, as she gallivants through the sign of the Centaur, being half man, half horse, she's in your 9th house. Well, that's quite often very positive for travel internationally or academic success in universities or campuses. Or she may be suggesting that you're moving into a deeper alignment with purpose. Or she may offer you up some very lucky breaks when it comes to money luck, when it comes to just general luck, when it comes to moving into a better alignment with joy and pleasure of spiritual community. And if you're at all in the book publishing world or wanting to be, that's bringing you luck in circumstances connected to publications, book publishing, and even serial podcasting. Again, that would be blessings from Venus flowing to the Aries part of the chart, October 17th to the November 10th timeframe. And it could look like a travel opportunity with great pleasure to a foreign shore or foreign land, and maybe one with a female as well, or someone who's a friend as well. Jupiter is in Gemini since May of this year, 24, to June of 2025. Jupiter in Gemini is in your 3rd house. And therefore, there's an indication of prosperity and success on things you built up last year in 2022 to 23. 23 to 24. Summer of 23 to 24 or spring of 23 to 24, you built up golden eggs for 2nd house prosperity, and now they're hatching in the 3rd house. So you make money now, or you have prosperity and abundance here from things that look like teaching, learning, social media, online stuff, short distance travel, amongst other things. And as Jupiter is here fertilizing goodness and moving forward, he then suddenly turns around. He's been moving forward since May. Now he's going to go backward and dig in deeper. So starting October 9th to February, you slow down a bit and rethink some of the things you've been creating and doing in this part of your sky. I'll use me as an example. Sky Reader, right? I taught this class. This is my 5th time teaching it. He'll retrograde October 9th. And then until February, I'll probably think about ways to revise the class and do it differently next summer. So that kind of stuff. Or Jupiter blesses your younger sibling when he moves to the 3rd house, and you may have issues around your younger sibling, one younger than you, returning to the story, or situations with neighbors from your past emerging as well, October 9th to February. All right, Pluto direct October the 11th. And this is a big one because Pluto is going to move forward October 11th to November the 19th in the sign of Capricorn. He's been there since September 1st, retrograde. It is the last time in this life that you're going to have the last lesson about 10th house power, 10th house authority, 10th house wealth and riches. The career story is pinnacling out. Since 2008, you didn't change your career, you transformed your career, you've had ups and downs in your careers, you've had, what does this feel like? Do I want this? Is this my true source of power? Am I evolutionarily transposing my divine will with my personal will up here? Am I letting the divine will move through me in my career? These are big questions when Pluto's going through the 10th house. Did I lose father figures through divorce or death since 2008? These are the questions that go on with Pluto in the 10th house. They have controlling narcissistic bosses. Some of you did. Or narcissistic father figures. Some of you did. Now, Pluto finishes this up and gives you the reward. So look from October 11th to November 19th to be some kind of reward for all the hard work you've put up there. More riches, more influence, more wealth, more power in your career. October the 11th through to November the 19th. Now we're going to break it down for you into the itty bitty bits of the actual transits. I might be talking fast. I know I am. I apologize. Please slow me down on the playback speed. I am losing my voice as well, so that's part of the problem, but I'm going to do my best. So if you don't mind staying with me at the speed I'm moving, the speed of my voice will be a lot. Why do I know that? It's not letting me stop the share. Hang on. Oh my God. Okay, Aries, let's get ahead of ourselves here and move into, I'll try to talk slow, your chart. And we're going to cover everything you need to know about October of 2024. For I am an Aries sun and moon, and I get it. So the eclipse is occurring at the beginning of the month on the 2nd of October, and it's happening in your 7th house. Now, the energy here is about other people, and you might not even think of it to do with you. It may be about your partner in love or business, or those clients, audience, and marketplace type connections you have. For this 7th house is 10th from the 10th, and it's a visible output of your career and how you interface with others with that content. So I like an eclipse here in one way. Juno, the goddess of partnership, shows up for us. And so possibly new developments in love or business partnership through the portal of an eclipse is a possibility. But on the other hand, this eclipse could also end a significant committed love relationship if that relationship is ready to be released. And you have to know that it is an eclipse at the 10th degree of the sign of Libra. So it's going to affect 5 to 15 degree Aries rising the most. If it's about your sun, it's really about business purposes, not love. And if it's your moon, it can be about eclipses to your home, changes of home. If your moon is anywhere near that 5 to 15 degrees of Libra. I'll be covering this eclipse in much more depth in a deep dive video coming out a few days after this release. So please don't forget to like and subscribe and get that notification bell up. This eclipse has a Mercury conjunct the sun happening on the 30th of September and the 1st of October. So it's got this other element. And Mercury is so infused in the eclipse that it has something to do with information, communication, ideas coming to you from other people. In this case, Mercury Libra, it's like a note. It's written, right? So it's likely a Libra library book, an email that's coming your way, and it's an important one. And you may receive that information on the actual Cazimi, which is the 30th of September into the 1st of October. But because it's in an eclipse blend, it matters in a longer term framework, as long as up to 6 months after this eclipse and up to a month before, obviously. Mars is trining Saturn at the time of the eclipse, and Mars Saturn energies are flowing, and we want that flow because it brings luck. Now, this water trine between the planets can indicate some positive developments from your home base, maybe a relocation move, maybe a chance for travel from home, connected to people in far off foreign shores and foreign lands. And it may also help you work really hard from your home in order to achieve more stable and reliable career gains in money you make from international sources, including borderless revenue through PayPal and Stripe accounts, or an opportunity to work and maybe travel from home to work for or with a foreign country or foreign business of some sort. October the 4th, Venus also begins to move into that trine energy here. And you can already see that there is a triangle called a flowing grand trine in water. And in essence, what Venus is saying is that I would like to bring you some chunky money. And I'll do that vis-a-vis Mars's actions in the 4th. Now, because Mars is in the place you live, it can be things to do with the hard work and drive and directional passion you have it in activities from home, especially if you work from home for your business, whether you're employed or your own business, either can count. And Venus is in the 8th house of that, inheritance money, that money from a tax rebate, the money from insurance payouts, the money from investments in the markets, the money from royalty income. Those sorts of monies are activated by Venus. And with Saturn over here in the 12th house, indicating again connections to places that are foreign and far off. But another way this can play out is the ending of some addictions, bad habits, and patterns connected to your family of origin system, and also maybe things to do with secrets. So we'll see how that works for all of us. Certainly, with houses 4 and 8 and 12 activated, these are spiritual liberation or moksha houses, and you may have a bit of a spiritual awakening or a spiritual breakthrough, but it's by what you cut, end, and sever connected to family of origin, mom relationship, home, and home base. Now, we also note that that Mercury and Mars are squaring. Mercury here squares Mars here. There's the box, guys, the square. This is an indication of tension. It's information, news, or maybe phone calls, maybe emails with your significant other, a business partner, or someone who's a client or audience or marketplace type person. You have to interface with a client or something like that. And the conversation comes to a bit of a duel because the Martian energy in your 4th house is gearing up for battle in a swimming pool. So there's a difficult, intense communication energy coming through Libra. Libra is library, Libra and book, and legal contracts. Mercury rules your 6th house. It can be legal contracts around rental properties, pets, or debts. You know what I mean? You signed a contract with a lender and there's a certain agreements are here, and suddenly the agreements are changing and you're upset about it because you could get debt acquisition and repayment out of that 6th house. Now, a tense conversation doesn't have to be bad, right? It can just require a lot of intense action and really fast moving decision making. And that's going to be true around October the 4th. On October 7th to the 9th is when Mercury then flows. Instead of squaring Mars, he flows to Jupiter. Jupiter is luck, right? And good things and bounty and prosperity. Some good news coming to your life regarding things involving neighbors, neighborhood, businesses, especially if they're online or connected to brick and mortar businesses. Or good news coming to you from your younger sibling who's lending a hand or helping you out or giving you some blessing. And it could also be connected to what the difficulty is around the home situation and breaking of contracts. Childhood friends is where Jupiter sits. A childhood friend steps up to support you in some difficult time. The difficulty is being felt by you October 4th or 5th. And then by the 7th or the 9th, somebody is seemingly coming to your rescue. So look for that as well. When I look at October 13th and October 14th, I notice the sun is also flowing in a positive way to Jupiter a little bit after Mercury. And therefore, the sun is kind of bringing it into being, right? Into the reality sphere. Yet the sun is in the setting place. I will give you that, which means things like a sundown, the twilight hour, things can also be completing, but in a positive way. And so lucky completions of legal contracts, lucky finalizations or endings regarding agreements you've made with others, particularly with a spouse or with a one-on-one relationship or with a legal and contractual matter. Jupiter rules your house of courts. He is in a sign of exile. He's not doing so great when it comes to judges and courts right now, but where he does want to bring the goodness is a third house. And that can be like a house of mediation. And I say that because it's a house of communication, and Gemini is the two, right? And so the brothers that can go to war or they can support each other. So you may have a kind of mediation orientation towards legal problems from blessed places, from that solar energy, October 13th and 14th. And October 13th and 14th, Mercury squares Pluto. And Mercury square Pluto is excavation of understanding or knowledge or communications that go under the surface, looking for the details. And this is details that are strongly connected with Mercury square Pluto to your home, plant, real estate, property holdings, and legal matters, and fine print and excavation and details, and maybe significant others in a legal field parsing through details. Now, it could be good. Like, let's go through the details of this refinance. Let's go through the details of this mortgage. Let's go through who's on the deed? What are the land boundaries? These are kinds of almost very real estate-like questions. The only other thing I can say, separation of a couple and who gets the house and all the details needed for that kind of property management. And with Venus in the house of shared assets with a spouse, there may be division of spousal assets or matters connected to that, including inheritance matters from a spouse or, widower situations as well. And clean up something there in the sky, trying to get some details going that may not be obvious to you at the time of whatever, before this now time. Because Pluto excavates things, right? And sorry, I sort of said that wrong. I apologize. Mars is in the 4th house, but Pluto's opposite Mars in the 10th house. And the acknowledgement or the excavation, has to do with things like maybe excavating things to do with the visible reputation around property matters, the visible reputation around legal and marital assets and matters. And Pluto, the 10th house, has been like transforming your career, your reputation, your path in life. I mean, totally really renovating it or demolishing and rebuilding it or transforming it since 2008. And Mercury in the 7th house may ask Pluto something to do with, do you want to make an agreement that goes deeper than you usually do regarding work and power and riches? And that can be a legal agreement. I'll give you an example. Somebody wants to sign you up on something like they want to promote, a promotion, but you have to sign on the dotted line. It may be very transformative. It'd be like, if I was to use me as an example, suddenly, I don't know, CNN loves my astrology and wants me to be the CNN broadcaster for astrology on the weekly astrology segment. And it's a big commitment. I have to sign a legal contract, but it gives me more power and more riches. That can be that kind of vibe. Squares can bring action and decisionable opportunities into the story. Okay. So whatever you're doing in your career, Mercury can give you a Libran contractual agreement, some kind of, thing like that from the 7th house that you must agree to in order to activate the new power and riches that can become available to you. And that is potentially something that Jupiter supports too by flowing to Mercury. So we're looking for that opening, especially in media, social media, online amplification of power or influence or wealth for some of you, or just the boss and the work situation, a new level of responsibility, but you have to sign a document to agree to it because Mercury rules your work house. So there's a potential legal agreement, contractual new agreement regarding work and more riches or more power coming through the sky for you. And that again, the date is October 13th to the 14th. October 14th through the 15th. Yeah, that's about that window. But October 14th to the 15th, a little bit after that, Venus gets involved in a wedge. When wedges are lovely, they kind of bring a breakthrough energy to whatever they touch. So let me describe that for you in some detail. We're going to draw a picture, and I'm going to do the scribble scrawl that I'm famous for here. So what happens here around the 14th and 15th is Venus is moved here to the end of near the end of the sign of Scorpio, your 8th house of chunky money, and she goes opposite Algol, a wealth star. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because potentially Venus, as a ruler of Uranus, as a ruler of the place with the wealth star, can bring a significant chunk of money your way that surprises you. October 14th and 15th, depositing it into your vast wealth account. I don't know. Or a very big surprise around money you share with your spouse, or a very big surprise around some money that could be from an inheritance. With Saturn in the 12th house of hospitals, some of that inheritance could come through an elder who passes, someone much older than you. Now, an eclipse sun also could indicate that in the setting place, the end of a life, I hate to say that, of an elder male in your life as well, an elder male, grandpa, grandma, great uncle Joe, something like that. And there may be some chunky money that you're being told or aware of that you suddenly can get. Now, this energy happens to be also connected to Neptune, and that's the breakthrough energy, right? So the opposition is like something surprising that also feels tense. And this is the house of death and inheritance. But then you'll notice that Venus flows to Neptune, and Neptune flows to Uranus. This is the wedge, and it's kind of a dream come true. But the dream come true is because realist Saturn and fantastical fanaticist, fantasy-prone Neptune, as Neptune retrogrades, seeing things clearly, point to success in far-off foreign shore chunky money coming to you, like international revenue, borderless income, dreams come true regarding a chance to maybe move or relocate or spend time living in a foreign country. Dreams come true around the final end of an addiction, bad habit, or self-sabotaging pattern. And it's very surprising, and it may be even exhilarating, but it feels very breakthrough, which Uranus is an element of breakthrough anyway. And so you'll see that energy really activate for you around October the 14th, 15th. On October the 16th, now Venus will sextile Pluto. How does she sextile Pluto? Well, Pluto at 29 degrees of your 10th house, rounding out that 2008 onward story, and Venus at the very end of your chunky money house. It's a money story. Usually Venus and Pluto bring riches together, the trillionaire yoga, when they're conjunct. So there's a definitely feeling here of increased wealth, but Venus is bringing it at the last degree of Scorpio. And this is the last time in your life this will happen. So look for a major upswing in your financial well-being. And of course, with eclipses moving through Aries and Libra, and as well as the new beginning of eclipses through Pisces and Virgo, you can compare notes to the two timeframes of 2005, 2004, 5, and 6, and also late 2006, 7, and 8. Various things are repeating here. Please check out my video I already did on the Pisces eclipse, the lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now, for all signs. Now, October the 22nd, Mercury will flow to Saturn. Saturn is again moving through that house of foreign lands and addictions and things you want to do alone in the downtime of your life, quietude, solitude, and ashrams, the spiritual attainment and wisdom. And you can get some enlightenment out of this combination in the next couple of years. Be aware of that. Saturn and Neptune here until 2026. I mean, finally leaving in 2026. Before that, there's a lot of enlightenment quotient for Aries rising, especially looking to be spiritually awake. Now, what I was talking about, losing my thread, I lost my thread. Oh, Mercury, yeah, Venus. So Venus sextiling. What is this extra wealth chunk of money finalizing here? What is this new deep power of love of power connected to your karma? The most karmatic house is the 8th house. It certainly feels good. It feels good on the finances as well. And the esteem of others, where people can really see you for all of your worth and all of your deservingness. That is on an upswell here as well. Eighth house is the esteem of others. Pluto is your reputation. Pluto is also direct. So a very good raise in your public reputation and esteem of others toward you. October 17th or so, 16th, 17th, both of those days, depends on your time zone. And October the 22nd, Mercury trines Saturn. So Mercury trine Saturn is kind of like the energy in Venus trine Saturn back on October 4th. Now Mercury does a trine to Saturn. Mercury has moved here and trine Saturn here. So October 4th, it was Venus. Now it's Mercury. And Mercury in your eighth house is sales, negotiations, accounting, selling, buying, marketing, buying or selling stocks. I mean, some of this could look like a crypto takeoff if someone has Bitcoin or something like that, or an altcoin, but the markets are going to surge up before they go down because of the new signal from the Fed of probably putting more money into the system, but no, it's not a sustainable trajectory. Look to serious turbulence probably next spring. In the meantime, there could be some investments that take off for you, and you could be like riding high on that. But when I look at the energy here too, of the Mercury, it could be selling something. With Mars in the fourth, you sold a property. Oh yeah, you could buy a property, but Mars is ending, severing, and cutting and snipping. And so it's more likely that you're going to sell a property or be able to sell a property or something to do with a big possession in your home, either way. And that could connect to what's going on in the sky for you around October 22nd. October 23rd to the 25th is a lovely time. Why? Because October the 23rd to the 5th, we end up with a mini grand trine courtesy of Mars swimming through your Pisces fourth house. And Mars is going to flow to Uranus in earthy Taurus, flow in a trine to to Neptune here, and create a mini grand trine. Now, this brings luck, grace, ease, and flow. And that's why the last week of October is by far the best. So the first thing I'd say about this arrow tip, like capstone energy, is this. It offers positive financial developments through things to do with changes regarding homeland, property, real estate, people in and from your home, and what goes on in your home. And Neptune, far off foreign shores and lands. I mean, honestly, looks like you guys are getting ready to cash in on some money and go off on a pilgrimage or adventure to another country myself. So it looks like, and the last week of October, it doesn't mean you take it. You could arrange it or book it, especially because Mercury will sit at that time at the very last part of, or especially the 26th to the 30th, Mercury is at the very last part of the chunky money house, creating this arrow here. It can be the final, nail on a financial deal, the final closing chapter of a financial transaction connected to riches, power, wealth, home, property, land, change of home, refinancing a mortgage, paying off a credit card. I don't know. But then it leads to this energetic here. Simply Mars wants to let go of something or end something to do with property and real estate, most likely. Other than that, it's money for a big construction loan, and you'll be doing that until next April 18th. That could happen here as well. Mars rules you. He's trying to bring good things to you. So you have to relax into this. And Mars also rules the house of banks, finances, and mortgages. And although he's in his fall, he is also flowing to the house of lenders, banks, mortgages, and real estate transactions through brokerages and banking and stuff like that. So this can look like a positive spot in the sky if you're involved in those things. Otherwise, maybe somebody's moving out of your home and getting ready to leave your home. Even a child is getting ready to leave your home, but suddenly it frees you up in some way, especially if you want to spend some time traveling to foreign countries or foreign lands. Don't forget, Venus is moving into the house of foreign lands on October 17th and November 10th. And this energy here at the last week of October could end up looking like you want to travel to foreign lands and foreign shores, especially when Mercury all of November, 3 weeks in November is up there too. So some of you look like you're getting going off to foreign lands, or legal and court matters are about to break free in your favor. And you're seeing that possibility closer to the end of October into early November. All right, thanks for listening. I hope that's useful. And I didn't talk too fast. I stopped the recording and patched this together from another. I went away and came back. I went away and had a foot massage. Thanks, Aries, for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my all signs videos. You can get them. And if you want to get them, you can, listen to your um, bundle or individual videos. And it's a cheap price. It helps my channel grow because I fund my back into my business with this fundraiser every year. And I don't ask for money. I ask for you to buy a product. So that's my value system there. I don't give anything. I don't get without giving. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Take care, my fellow Aries, and be well.